All right, look. So hold up. I'm on my exercise bike right now. It's raining outside, so I'm gonna get on the exercise bike and talk to y'all the whole time. I'm gonna not go at a pace that gets me all winded. But like, all right, so fresh off work, let's get straight to the content. So a couple of my videos and a lot of people in the JBP that make videos about the Joe Button podcast, they kind of been having gripes about the podcast and where it's going and shit like that. As a person that listens to a lot of podcasts, all these podcasts are kind of a shit show now. And I think the reason why they're a shit show is because these podcast dudes take themselves too fucking serious. Like, listening to podcasting, like, even if they're talking about tough topics or whatever, it should be a vibe. And these niggas think they're so philosophical and so fucking, they just killing the vibe. Like, granted, I love podcasts when they talk about like entertaining shit or like real life shit, current events, even some deep shit. But it's still like, especially if you're a Joe Buttons fan, the pod has just been a vibe killer, right? So I was like, I think a lot of the podcast vibes are killed because these niggas just take themselves too serious. And it's literally just fucking podcasting. And all podcasting is just a recorded conversation. That's all it is. When Joe's on Twitter Spaces and shit like that, they try to act like it's so professional in this. Now, at one point until now, and right now, it's a lot of podcasters that make some good money type shit. Like, shout outs to them. But it ain't nothing to be professional. Like, you just talking, you're recording, you edit shit out. Like, it's supposed to be a vibe, but they take themselves so serious. So I was like, I'm about to do a fucking podcast. And I don't even get a lot of viewers and shit like that. But it's just like, they're getting away from the essence of podcasts. Nigga, you're just in front of the camera talking about shit. Stop with this extra, like, it's this like Mark Lamont Hill, Melissa Ford style branding of podcasting. And it's just, it just kills the fucking vibe. So I was like, for my next video, I should do a podcast. And I'm going to do the podcast. Look, hold up. Can y'all see my drawing? While I'm riding my fucking exercise bike. It is what it is. Look, even before I start, look, I got production right now. Joe Buttons and them got the whiteboard. I got the, look, I wrote this shit on a fucking crock pot. So, fuck it. We're going to do a podcast. We're going to see how long we can do the podcast for. Because I think these podcast niggas take themselves too serious. And it's really just a conversation on camera. So the first topic I wrote down. Joe Buttons and friends, the whole podcast, they covered the DDG, Haley Bailey shit, right? So if you're a fan of the podcast, I shouldn't have to explain this to you. And if you like familiar with the situation, I should have to explain it. So recently, DDG put out text messages that Haley Bailey was acting like a crazy bitch. It is what it is. Like, she is acting crazy. And they going through a custody battle with their child and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, Joe Buttons and Melissa Ford and Ish, they all covering this shit, right? Knock, knock. Guess who's there? Melissa Ford with the fucking stupid ass opinions. If you're a fan of the Joe Buttons podcast, you already know what stance she took. It's like no getting around it. So Melissa Ford has this new ideology where it's like, I think it was like maybe an episode or two ago. She's like, you know, I try to be like even kill and I try to be balanced and I try to see the other things, but fuck that. I'm standing 10 toes down. And all of a sudden she got this new premonition of, oh, I'm standing 10 toes down type shit, right? What it really is, Joe been bringing some chicks on the pod and they've been giving it up. Even the girl that violated Ish, which was corny as shit, but it is what it is. So now Melissa Ford is going to be 10 toes down in all her opinions, right? So basically, she going to be uber pro-woman and kick niggas' backs in the whole time, right? And I don't know if you're like me, I'm tired of hearing Melissa Ford's opinions on this type of shit. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or nothing like that. But when you listen to a lot of the Joe Buttons podcasts and shit like that with Melissa Ford, you come to know stories about her. Melissa Ford has a skewed visual of what a man is. Because if you watch enough of the podcast, she has had issues with her father. Whether she admits to it or not, she really don't fuck with her dad like that. And she don't fuck with her mom like that. But she really don't fuck with her dad. Even in one episode, she shared how the maintenance man molested her and her dad didn't do shit. Crazy as shit. So her opinion on men is already skewed, right? So we get into it. Now, shockingly, I'm even surprised that they even covered the topic. But they did give pushback. And a lot of times in these situations, Melissa Ford holds the conversation hostage from a woman's perspective. And Joe did call her out on that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's Ice, Parks, Mark Lamont Hill, Joe, Ish. It don't matter. This shit cannot come from a man at this point. No longer can men talk about how they're tired of Melissa Ford and da-da-da-da-da. It's time for women to step up and call her out on her shit. I forget whose video I was watching. I don't think it was Elevation. I forget the guy's name. But it was a woman on the YouTube comments. And she said she's tired of Melissa Ford shit. Round of a fucking applause for her. Because at the end of the day, y'all don't know me, I don't know you. I was raised around strong women. Strong grandmother. Strong great-grandmother. Strong sisters. Strong female cousins. This weak bitch shit that Melissa Ford doesn't exist to me. And a lot of times you get a small minority speaking for the majority. Yo, the majority of women are not weak-minded like Melissa Ford. I don't know how Melissa Ford gets, well, I know how she gets the voice on JPP. He put the motherfucker on the podcast. But it's time for women to literally call Melissa Ford out on her hypocritical bullshit. Because as a guy that watches the Joe Budden podcast, yo, I'm tired of fucking hearing this shit. I'm tired of hearing her biased fucking opinions. And now that she's quote unquote 10 toes down, now she's really just going to be spewing ignorance. I'm not saying DDG. I haven't been watching DDG for the longest time. I know who he is because I'm into the YouTubers and shit like that. And DDG has done a lot of sucker shit. But you can't sit here and have excuses for Haley Bailey acting like a fucking nutcase, bro. She's acting like a nut. She's saying she's suicidal. And Melissa Ford is ready to run to postpartum or, oh, she just lashed out. Yo, if that was a dude, Melissa Ford would have been kicking that nigga's back in. And men can't continuously argue these points with Melissa Ford. It's time for strong women to step up. When my boy issues on some stupid shit, niggas kick his back in. They say stupid, they go in on him. It's time for women to call Melissa Ford out on this bullshit. Because we don't want to be men. You don't want Joe or Ish to blow up and yell at her. You don't want them, quote unquote, jumping her on the pod. So the strong women got to say, yo, actually, Melissa Ford, you're weak as shit. And Melissa Ford needs to get to the core issues of her and her issues with men. Because at the end of the day, Melissa Ford, I'm 40. You older than me. You don't got no kids. You never been married. I'm sorry. That's a fucking problem with you. Even, let's say Melissa Ford picked a bunch of bad guys. Why the fuck you keep picking bad guys? Melissa Ford will say, oh, they tricked me and they weren't how many fucking times you gonna get tricked? You really think it's that shit is mind-boggling. So they covered that topic. It was fucking annoying to listen to at work, but I'm also through it. All right. What's next on the podcast? Mark Lamont Hill and Ish. So, I'm not the biggest Mark Lamont Hill fan. I fuck with Ish. He seemed like one of my niggas type shit. At first, I was really annoyed with Mark Lamont Hill because he came off like the male version of Melissa Ford. So that was kind of irritating. But over time, he been cool. Now, in the JBP universe, Ish and Mark Lamont Hill, and with a little side comments from Ice, got into an argument about flat earth, right? Now, granted, I fuck with conspiracy theories. And not all conspiracy theories are just conspiracy theories. Some of them come true, right? So Ish decided. Now, if you don't know Mark Lamont Hill, do your own research. Very intelligent dude, very articulate dude. He's master debater. Diddy, that sounds crazy. Sound like I said masturbator. Master debater, right? So Ish, he got a little street knowledge. Like, you know what I'm saying? He like a 5%er brother, like, hey brother. Like he know the science, he kicking the knowledge type shit, right? But he's a smart dude too. Ish knows some shit. He went to college and shit like that. But Mark Lamont Hill is really in this political debate field, right? So they start arguing about flat earth. Now, my other video, I covered this. I'm going to cover it real briefly. Ish took a stupid ass fucking stance by even arguing flat earth, right? Because at the end of the day, flat earth really got super popularized again on 4chan. If you don't know what 4chan is, brain rot degeneracy sprinkled in with a little bit of good information. And sometimes you get like WikiLeaks type. I'm not going to get into it. Look at 4chan on yourself. But, so Mark Lamont Hill, he out debates Ish because Ish is arguing something that shouldn't be argued. Shut the fuck up with this flat earth shit. Because when you really into conspiracy theories, real conspiracy theorists know some of these conspiracy theories are brought up just to throw you off the real conspiracy theories. I view flat earth as one of them. So Mark Lamont Hill beats him in the debate. Here goes the fucking JBP universe. You got fucking Danny from the Stop. You got Elevation. You got all this fucking shit. I think the girl name was Mona. Well, I'm gonna talk about Mona. I think that's her name. I'm not 100% sure, right? So everybody's like, oh my God, Mark Lamont Hill, he cracked Ish's muffin. Whole time taking Ish slang, but whatever, right? So I'm like, damn. He cooked them in that debate. It's not a big deal for me. It's just a fucking debate. But a lot of the guys in the JBP universe, respectfully, I'm not no John Jones, Francis Ngannou, Mike Tyson, tough ass nigga. But a lot of the niggas in the JBP universe, they soft. Shout outs to Elevation and Danny from the Stop. I'm not saying they soft, but you could tell they not. The shit that is categorized as toxic masculinity, them niggas is not that. Now, granted, I don't agree with that type of rhetoric, but them niggas is not like that. So they so happy that Mark Lamont Hill cracked Ish's muffin in this fucking debate where Ish shouldn't even been debating flat earth, so everybody's going crazy. Then there's a lady on there. If her name's not Mona, I'm sorry. I'm going to call her Mona for now, because I think her name is Mona. She goes on the fucking podcast saying how she feel like Mark Lamont is like on some manly shit and Ish just backing down. This shit was extra as hell. As a fan of the JBP, and like I said, I fuck with Ish. I wasn't really a fan of Mark Lamont Hill when he first came on the show, but like I fuck with his perspectives recently on certain things. We're gonna get to that, right? So she's saying like, oh, Ish can't be Ish with Mark around. Like Mark is just this dominant ass nigga. Like a lot of times, so in other episodes, I told you I'm a history nerd, right? So when you dealing with educated people, nowadays educated people have the voice. The billionaires that create shit, they like in past times, a dude like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, they can make all this money, right? They really glorified shopkeepers. From like back in the day, like let's say the Roman Empire, they had shopkeepers, niggas, or a blacksmith. So these niggas is glorified blacksmith and shopkeepers, right? So a dude like Mark Lamont Hill can come off tough by winning debates. But if shit hit the fan, you niggas that's all good with your words probably get the dog shit beat out of you. That's just how it used to be. This is the only time in history where articulate dudes can really get their shit off because you can't go around just stabbing niggas up, slapping niggas up type shit. Not saying I want that, but you see these glorified shopkeepers and blacksmiths, these billionaires, and you see dudes like Mark Lamont Hill get on this articulate shit. You even see with DJ Academics. DJ Academics will be in his house yelling at a man. But in real life, he would not do that. And if he did do that and a dude fucked him up, he would call the cops. So you get shit like that, right? So everybody in the JBP was going crazy, the universe. Then what happens? My nigga Ish got that get back. And Mark Lamont Hill got fucking emotional. And the whole time I knew that Ish was going to get his get back. You know why? And every time topics like this come up, Ish can always dog walk the fuck out of Mark Lamont Hill. Because Mark Lamont Hill is stuck in a certain area. He has certain ideologies that he just has to believe in. He has to preach. He has that type of shit going on. When it comes to women, relationships, politics, every time Ish is going to dog walk the fuck out of Mark Lamont Hill because Mark Lamont Hill is stuck with certain type of like democratic / liberal ideologies. Now, granted, in my comments, they were saying he was in the Green Party, but when you listen to him talk, he has a lot of liberal democratic ideology. He does not budge for them at all. Now, granted, to be fair, I don't see it's nothing wrong. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being like a centrist, but you have to lean to one side. You can't be down the center the whole time. That's just not how the politics set up in America right now. You know what I mean? So anytime that type of shit comes up, it's just going to cook. And what did he do? He cooked them. Mark Lamont Hill. Now, this is for real degenerate people will recognize this as a Joe Budden fan. When that nigga Mark Lamont Hill get mad and start that Maybach music stuttering, he's cooked. I was so fucking impressed. Now, I will say this about Ish. Ish knew he was cooking, and he did the most light-skinned thing possible. He was calm. He made sure that he even got calmer to show like, oh, I'm being stoic, and this nigga being emotional, crashing out. It was a fucking beautiful, as an Ish supporter, it was a beautiful fucking thing to say, type shit. So, yeah, a lot of the people had to have humble pie. Shout out to Danny and Elevation. Danny even, shout out to Danny from the stop. He can be biased and come off as a Ish hater at least 77% of the time. He called the fucking shit out. You gotta respect it. All right, what's next on the list? Elevation, Danny from the stop. All right. So this is like, if it's an iceberg, we're starting to get to the bottom. Let's say it's a JBP iceberg, right? Big ass iceberg. Once you start getting to the lower depths of the iceberg, so the tip of the iceberg is out. Underneath is real big, but we at the bottom of the iceberg of the JPP universe. When we start talking about people that cover the Joe Buttons podcast, right? So two people that I follow that cover Joe Buttons, Elevation, Danny from the stop. Shout out to Elevation, shout out Danny from the stop, right? I fuck with their content. I'm not subscribed to the Patreon, and if you're a rogue Joe Buttons fan and you're subscribed to the Patreon, you should unsubscribe because the shit is dog shit. That shit has been dog shit. And if enough people unsubscribe, he'll start fucking doing better. I'm sorry. So I follow Elevation, Danny from the start. I fuck with their content. So I think it was last week. Elevation goes, he says in it before he starts the video, he covers everybody on the pod and their lives outside the pod. Danny from the start does that too. Now, Elevation, I forget the exact video, but Joe Buttons commented on Elevation's fucking YouTube channel. Holy shit, this nigga Joe is toxic and he don't learn. Now you might be saying, Trey, why are you saying he toxic and he don't learn? Because when Danny from the start was coming up, and Danny was moving without Joe Budden's help, Joe started bringing up Danny's name and bringing Danny into spaces. And at that point, Danny was uber fucking toxic. And I don't care what anyone says. A lot of this shit, a lot of the like narratives that Danny was creating on his channel, Joe Buttons was feeding off of that shit and taking it out on the pod. Now, granted, Joe Buttons will never admit this. Thank God that Joe Budden and Danny from the start don't got that same relationship, because Danny was literally having these motherfuckers pull their hair out on the podcast with his narratives. Because Joe was taking his narratives and fucking dumping it on the cast, and the cast was getting pissed off. Joe was even bringing up Danny's name on the motherfucking pod. My nigga Danny was going up, but Joe was tearing niggas apart. Brings me to Elevation. Elevation does a video. I can't remember exactly on the video. Joe Budden comments on the fucking shit. This nigga Elevation is on some toxic warpath right now. He is fucking cooking everybody on the JBP but Joe Buttons. Now, I don't really know all the way how Elevation feels about Mark Lamont Hill, but he seems like he a Mark Lamont Hill fan type shit, right? This shit is fucking bad because Elevation is focusing on contracts right now in his content, what this person deserves, what that person deserves, what Joe is making from this deal, and the whole time, now that Joe commented on Elevation's YouTube channel, now we know Joe is listening to Elevation. And at the end of the day, that is toxic because Joe Budden, he feeds off YouTube, like these YouTubers that cover him. And like I said, I fuck with their content. But the Joe Budden podcast is in a bad space right now. Let me explain slightly. So you got Mark Lamont Hill on there, right? So Joe made a joke saying like he got like a different fan base, educated fan base, da-da-da-da. With that comes money, you assume, shit like that, right? The most overhyped shit of all time is a Mark Lamont fan base. Because if Mark Lamont had a fan base, his shit would pop without the Joe Buttons podcast. He would not be on the Joe Buttons podcast. He would be doing his own thing. You could say he's on Pierce Morgan and this and that. That's not culturally relative to anything that like matters. So he's on the JBP because he wanted to be cultural relevant. So Joe really has it in, and I'm pretty sure Mark Lamont Hill has brought a certain amount of people, and he probably keeps people tuned, like listening to the show. Because he is entertaining, and it is cool to listen to him talk about certain subjects. I ain't gonna lie. But like, they overvalue Mark Lamont Hill on that show. And like I said, I'm not trying to be Danny from the start. I'm not trying to count niggas' money. But I think they overvalue him. And I think Joe is overvaluing Mark Lamont Hill with Ian Schwartzman hyping Mark Lamont Hill up even more, right? If you don't know who Ian Schwartzman is, that's Joe Budden and Park's manager, right? So lately, you've been seeing more of Ian Schwartzman. I think like him and Mark Lamont Hill have been doing like little skits and shit like that. I never click on them. I never watch one of the skits. They pop up. I'm never clicking to see Ian Schwartzman and fucking Mark Lamont Hill do anything. Now, granted, on Twitter, I have spoken not on some crazy shit, but just like different topics and shit like that. Ian Schwartzman is a dope fucking dude. Like, he's cool. But you can see, so Joe, it's a saying in history. I think I'm going to say it wrong. But it's like wooden shoes on the way up, silk slippers on the way down. And that the silk slippers on the way down shows the end of an empire. Joe, I feel lately, is taking too much advice from fucking Ian Schwartzman, bro. Like, even, like, if you listen to the podcast enough, you'll talk, like, oh, Flip had a talk with Ian. At one point, Flip ain't even want to talk to Ian. We're going to get to why Flip wouldn't want to talk to Ian. Or Ish saying, Ian Schwartzman has when he talks to him, he calls him, hey, buddy, type shit. So you heard Ish talking about how he talked to Ian and shit like that. So at one point during contract negotiations, it seemed like Ish was trying to like get some more bread. So they bring Mark Lamont Hill in. And I don't think Mark Lamont Hill is better than Ish. If anything, they just equal. Like, I just think that. So, this bike really getting to me now. But, not really, but I'm catching a vibe. So, I feel like Ian Schwartzman he has his hands too much on the podcast. And I don't feel like he always did. And now it's just a lot of fucking silly shit. The fucking shit is watered down. Like, I be wanting Joe Buttons to cover Dave Portnoy. If you don't know who Dave Portnoy is, he's the owner of Barstool Sports. And he knows a lot about stocks and shit like that, right? He does a lot of racy shit. I'm not going to get into it. But he's a Jewish guy. I sometimes feel like Joe Buttons don't go in on Dave Portnoy the way he should because Ian Schwartzman is a fucking Jewish guy. And then when I'm listening to the pod and like Ian's name is being, and like I said, I have no problems with Ian. He seemed like a cool guy. But Ian's name is being brought up so much on the pod. It's just like, why the fuck are we talking about a manager? Why? And I feel like Ian Schwartzman wants to be a star now. And I feel like if you follow Ian Schwartzman on Twitter, he talks about a variety of shit. And he seems like an intelligent dude. But I feel like Ian feels like Mark Lamont Hill is his way to engage with Pierce Morgan and Bill Maher and like talk about an array of subjects. But for the JBP, Ian Schwartzman, get the fuck out of here. Them niggas drop Podwise, right? The Podwise numbers look like fucking shit. And from the rip, Ian's wife was saying how she needs some bread. Ian was looking at the camera like, he couldn't believe his wife was saying that. And I watched a video breakdown of it. And it's just like, well, do you think Joe came up with Podwise by himself? Fuck no. That's some shit that Ian told him, probably bothered him about it for months. Boom, you get Podwise. Boom, that shit's about to be out of here. That shit's a flop. Because Joe is so not in tune with his core demographic. He thinks his core demographic is the niggas on Spaces. No, that's not your core demographic. Your core demographic, Joe Buttons will never see this video. Joe's core demographic is warehouse workers like me, truck drivers, basketball players, football players. I know niggas in the military listen to Joe Buttons. Like, that's his core fan base. Not these fucking Twitter space fucking dudes and ladies. And I feel like we always talk about, like, when you look at the beginning of hip hop and you listen, like, it can become a toxic perspective when you're talking about religious demographics and shit like that. Like, and I don't really like fuck with that shit. But like when you hear people say, oh, well, the Jews this and Jews that. Joe, it's kind of happening to your podcast. You might want to say, hey, Ian, go back to being a fucking manager, bro. Get your hands out the pot. Because Ian, it looks like he's trying to maneuver himself to be like a podcast person with Mark Lamont Hill. But Mark Lamont Hill don't got a fucking fan base worth 2 fucking nickels. Or he would have his own Patreon popping. He would have his own sponsors and all that shit. All right, enough about that. Next topic, Asmongold and Hassan Piker. Now, we're leaving the JBP, and we're going into Twitch streamers. They stream on other platforms, but I'm going to refer to them as Twitch streamers. So you got Asmongold. Not going to go into a long-ass rant about who Asmongold is. He plays video games, and he's a streamer. He's more of a, on the right conservative side of politics, right? You got Hassan Piker. Now, people say he's a gamer. I never seen Hassan Piker play a game. Every time I seen Hassan Piker on my algorithm, it was literally for political shit, right? So, Asmongold, I watch a lot of Asmongold shit. Now, from when I first started watching Asmongold, I watched him because of video game content. I know Asmongold has like a bad rap with a lot of people, but I don't, like for the past maybe 3 years, I have watched a lot of Asmongold material. A lot of the people that say this stuff about him, like a lot of people say shit about him and they're actually fucking lying. Like they just fucking lying. And it's things you can hold Asmongold accountable to, but the shit they try to hold him to is fucking lies. So yes, he's conservative / Republican, right? Me and him don't have the same views on a lot of shit. And like I said, I started off watching him for gaming. Like, whether it's Path of Exile, whether it's Elden Ring, when it comes to, like, a streamer, not these hacky-ass Call of Duty streamers that use glitches. This man, Asmongold, makes the best builds in video games, and it's not even fucking close. You can say they're glitchy, broken. Yeah, they're broken in a fucking good way. I wasted so much time as a warrior in fucking Path of Exile, I had to remake my build like Asmongold. I was just beating the shit out the game the whole time, right? So Asmongold has these certain views, and you get, like, I consider myself, like, I always voted Democrat. I consider myself like Democrat/liberal, right? So just because me and Asmongold don't believe in the same political shit doesn't mean he's a fucking idiot, he's a fucking sexist, he's a fucking racist. Because I'm here to break it down to y'all, he's actually not. If y'all catching me losing my breath a little bit, I've been on the fucking bike the whole time. Because like I said, motherfuckers been doing shit podcasts, so I was like, fuck it, I'll try to do a podcast style drawing while I'm riding my bike and exercising. So Asmongold is none of that. He is very biased when it comes to Trump and Elon Musk. I'm going to just be honest with you. He never really calls them out on their bullshit. And when he does call them out, he handles them with kid gloves. And he does. So Asmongold, if I could describe him, he's a bald. He got hair like Hulk Hogan. And he probably weighs 70 pounds. And he has probably one of the dirtiest, junkiest rooms, filthy ass rooms I ever seen in my fucking life. But he's good at gaming, and he's a smart fucking guy. But a lot of shit that he covers now, especially when he's covering political stuff, it's in a way to always make the Democrats look bad. Now, granted, the Democrats do a good enough job making themselves look bad without Asmongold sharing a dude like Cash. I think his name is Cash Jordan, who's another Republican guy, and he's always sharing the violence in New York. They're stealing from the CVS's. It's just like, yo, bro, I got people in New York. Cash Jordan will have you thinking that's happening every fucking day. Well, guess what? They probably stealing from fucking CVS's in West Virginia, and that's all white people. But nevertheless, or like, let's say it's a protest, right? And let's say some fucking Democratic supporters are doing some dumb shit. Asmongold will try to paint every Democrat, or not every Democrat. Let me be fair. I don't want to be like the other people that judge him wrong. Other people, what the fuck? Workout summary? No, I'm not done yet. We still going. So Asmongold will like paint people, Democrats, a certain fucking way. Like, oh, they've been violent at protests. And oh, they're looting. And it's just like, yo, stop with that narrative, because the more you keep covering that, it's like he's building up an excuse when someone does something out of hate from the right side to say, oh, well, they've been facing violence, so that's just their reaction, fighting fire with fire. And as long as I've been living, and I'm 40, as long as I've been living, Republicans/conservative, and now we moving. I'm not saying this is all Republicans and conservatives. You got Republicans/conservative/white nationalists /white supremacists/KKK/Nazis. Well, who committed the most fucking violence in America? It's non-black people, it's not immigrants, and it's not even fucking close. Now, people will say, oh, black Americans committed a bunch of violence. White Americans literally fight big-ass wars against, you got 9/11. 9/11, the people that caused 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia. What happened? They go fucking up people in Afghanistan. That's tough. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I don't really want to hear about the black demographic being violent when white niggas will start a whole motherfucking war when motherfuckers ain't have nothing to do with nothing. So you start blowing up caves and shit. So that's Asmongold. I'm not doing my best. This is my first podcast. Listen, y'all didn't listen to other podcasts, and they just dog shit the first episode. This is my first episode, right? So now on the other end, you got Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is more, all right, so I did the scale for the right. So you got Republicans/conservatives/ not saying they're all one, but it's just like the graph. It's just like the subgenre. You got Republicans, and you got /conservatives, right? Now we getting into the other categories that associate with that. So you got white supremacists, white nationalists, KKK, Nazis type shit, right? Hassan Piker, you would have Democrat/liberal/ uber pro LGBTQXYZ / pro-Palestine slash anarchist slash Hezbollah. Did you hear what I just said? Hassan Parker is... A lot of people compare Hassan Piker to Asmongold. You cannot compare Hassan Piker to Asmongold. Asmongold does not have extremist beliefs. Even though I disagree with a lot of shit that Asmongold says, he does not have extremist beliefs. You got Hassan Piker. And listen, no Diddy. Hassan Piker seems like a fucking cool guy, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Swaggy little white bull, got his muscles, he work out. No Diddy. I fuck with it. Like, it's cool. But he has extremist views. And I don't give a fuck what side of the political party you represent. Once you start fucking with the side that's extreme, I cannot fuck with you. I no longer align with anything that you stand for. And I don't think that you're American first when it comes to that. So he's like... I can understand people in the Middle East having vitriol and like hatred towards America for all the shit that America put them through. I get it. I get it. It sucks that's what it is, but that's what it is. Hassan Piker is running around supporting Houthis and fucking Hezbollah. Hassan Piker recently did a fucking, I think it was a podcast, and they had a gay dude on the podcast. And they asked him, like, it's Gay Pride Month and Men's Health Awareness Month, mental health awareness. You see, I'm doing my little workout. Y'all should be on a bike with me or doing a walk or doing something because I'm talking right now. I'm doing my first pod. So Hassan Piker is on this podcast, and it's a gay dude on there. So, like you know what I mean? He got the rainbow flag or whatever. So he's like, Hassan Piker, what's your favorite flag? And he's like, Hassan Piker says, oh, I love the Hezbollah flag. Bro, what the fuck is... Like, Hassan, bro, at this rate, if you keep saying goofy shit like that, I can't even consider you a liberal or Democrat. You are a fucking extremist, bro. As a black guy, I've been black my whole life. I am very aware of extremists. And I keep my eyes out of like, oh, he looks like he says nigger every morning he wakes up. I keep my eye out for shit like this. You are associating yourself and showing love to terrorists. Whether you think they're fighting a good fight or not, they terrorize people. And like Hassan Piker, he shows support for gay people. So does Asmongold. They show it in different ways, but they both support gay people. Hassan Piker, how can you support gay people in Hezbollah? If it was up to Hezbollah, they would fucking kill every gay person. That's the problem. Hassan Piker, and like I said, he seems like a cool dude. But once he goes down these fucking stupid ass rabbit holes with these fucking terrorists, I cannot fuck with it. It's too much. And that's the problem with the Democratic Party right now. Now, not to get too political, because guess what? Politics not even on the list. But not to get too political. The last time it was time to vote, I didn't vote. You know why? Because the Democratic Party is a fucking shit show. And I feel like more people should have not voted, because every time it's time to vote for president, they try to get people to show up. People that may have not voted, they try to get them to show up to vote. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were unacceptable. Now, granted, nigga, I voted for Biden. I fucking dropped the ball with that. It is what it is. It is what it is. I was not dropping the ball with Kamala Harris. Now, you can do your own research on Kamala Harris. It wasn't because she was a woman. Because let me tell you, if Michelle Obama ran for president, I would vote for Michelle Obama. I don't give a fuck. Some of these women that they might, I don't even know how I feel completely about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I kind of fuck with her. She had these little Israel policies. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But like Hillary Clinton, never would have voted for her. And the reason why the Democratic Party is a shit show right now is because they did Bernie Sanders fucking disgusting just to put Hillary in a position to fucking lose to Donald Trump. Then you get Kamala Harris. It's not a black thing. It's not a female thing. Yo, Kamala Harris is a fucking bot. She's a fucking NPC. And as a black voter, yo, just because there's going to be other black people that, or people of color, whatever, that run for president. Just because you get a black person running for president, that's not the time to ask them, what's your thoughts on Biggie and Tupac? I don't give a fuck what they feel about that. Tell me about your policies. And Kamala Harris never could stand on any of her policies. She couldn't stand on her policies so bad, she couldn't even hold Donald Trump accountable for his bad policies. Because she didn't, I can't even say she had bad policies. She never presented any of her fucking policies. And when you get the Democrats / liberals, everything they do is just so fucking corny. Like, it's one Democratic person that I listen to. No, two. So, I listened to this one podcast called Breaking Points. It has a dude named Sagar. He's like a Republican. And a lady named Crystal Ball. She's a Democrat. Yo, I fuck with that balance. I don't agree with everything that Sagar says. I actually don't agree with everything Crystal says. But at least they're trying to be honest with us. As a Democratic voter, yo, all the Democrats do is lie. And if you think because Elon Musk and Trump are doing a shit show with the country, that's going to make me vote Democrat, no, the fuck it's not. Y'all need to give me a political person that I really could stand with, and I know they stand for me and my people. Not just black people, American people, working class people, working poor people. You can't just give me any fucking body. I'm sorry, I'll still not vote again. And at the end of the day, as a man, you're going to have to get it how you get it. It is what it is. But I'm not going to subdue my ideologies and my beliefs just to get a Republican president out of the fucking office. No. So I listen to Sager. He's Republican. But I fuck with Crystal Ball. She's a Democrat. And I fuck with Kyle Kalinske. Kyle Kalinske, if you want to listen to any type of liberal media, now granted, this is where the Democratic / liberal media gets fucked up. Because Kyle Kalinske fucking cooks. It's like not even a debate. Remember, his name is Kyle Kalinske. I don't know the name of it's called Secular Talk. SECULAR. Nigga had to look at the sky to remember how to spell that, John. It's called Secular Talk. He has a really good political YouTube channel. I would like to hear some of his other shit. Like, how do you feel about transgender men or however, the niggas that ain't niggas no more, they women. How do you feel about them being in female sports? Now, granted, I think that's an overblown point, but that's a point that Democrats should be saying, hey, we don't agree with that, and wipe your hands with it. It's too much fucking. I heard Kyle Kalinske say something today, and it struck a nerve with me because not that I consider myself like a pure centrist, but it's just like he was like, yo, we don't have time to be in the center. Like, you got to pick a side. I don't 100% agree with that, but to a certain extent, you do have to pick a side. You do have to pick a side when it comes to certain topics. I would have had 10 times out of 10, I probably would have voted for Kamala Harris before Trump because Trump comes with this extra shit. Whether you got Elon Musk doing Nazi salutes or you got this person, like he puts the battery in the back of a lot of toxic ass ideology. I could never stand for that. Now, would Kamala Harris be uber with the, let prisoners change sex type shit? Yes, but when you picking the lesser of two evils, I can see how people would lean towards Kamala Harris because Trump is doing a shit show and shit is high as a giraffe's ass when it comes to the grocery store. Like at this point, when I go to buy salmon, this shit about to be $25 at Aldi's. Aldi's supposed to be cheap. I'm supposed to go into Aldi's buy salmon. That shit's supposed to be $3. That shit high as hell. The eggs, yeah, they cheaper at Aldi's. They tell you can only get 2 cartons at a time. Nigga, I was ready to go in there and buy 9 cartons. But anyway, so like Kyle Kalinske has that view, but I fuck with Kyle Kalinske. And then like on the conservative side, a more level-headed guy, not to say I fuck with him, but I do fuck with, it's a dude named Dave Smith. actually, if it was up to me, I would rather have, this will never happen. Just like a fantasy draft. I would like Sager and Crystal Ball to run for president, or Kyle Kalinske and Dave Smith. And Kyle Kalinske actually kind of fucks with Dave Smith. So that would be dope to me. Because this old regime that's in government got to get the fuck out the way. I kind of went off script on that. What's next? Non-American citizens. All right. This is like a broad topic, and my phone is dying. As you can see, look, I'm not bitching. Hold on, let me hold this up for y'all. As y'all can see. All right? My phone dying. So that's why I'm about to get off. And I've been riding this bike for 45 minutes. I'll probably keep going, but I got to charge my shit. Hold on, let me restart this. I have an issue. So lately, I've been coming across content on TikTok. And I don't know what this guy's name is, but it's a Hispanic dude. It's a Puerto Rican dude, right? And he feels like Puerto Ricans are losing their Boricua type heritage because black people are claiming Puerto Ricans as black, and Puerto Rican women are dating a lot of black men, right? Now, in my personal opinion, this guy's a fucking idiot. And I think he's a guy from New York. When you live in certain communities, the communities are blended. So maybe in Las Vegas, the Hispanic and black community isn't blended. But when you get to like South Jersey, New York, this shit is blended. So yeah, you still got Puerto Ricans that speak Spanish, but it's more of an American urban culture than a specific culture, right? So the only thing I agree with him is I had this discussion with my sister. Black people do need to stop saying that these Hispanic people is black, because they're not black. And what the fuck is black? Okay, let me not say it like that, because we know what black is. But like, there's a difference between a black African and a black African American. Everybody knows this, right? So black people, like, are there dark-skinned Hispanic people? Fuck yeah. Some of them niggas black as me. Look at Al Horford. Listen, I was in the sun playing basketball all day yesterday. I got dark. Al Horford just as dark as me, right? He a Dominican dude. But that's still a Hispanic person. That's not a black person. And these black people that are saying these Hispanic people are black, well, you're a black American. You don't have a black American's culture is American culture. For the most part, 97% of black Americans' culture is American. We more American than the white people in America. Because even Asmongold, he'll say he's German, or you say a person, I'm Italian, I'm this. Yo, black Americans, our culture is this. If someone says, hey, let me have a food native to your country, I'm going to grab a fucking cheesesteak, a cheeseburger, a chicken pot pie, some seafood. That's actually American shit that black people do in America. Even soul food, mac and cheese, collard green. That's shit here that we adopted. Our ancestors adopted because they was grade A cookers and grade A people. Listen, shout out to them. But fucking, yeah, I wish black people would shut the fuck up. Even you got, not to try to bash on him, because I touched on this in another episode, but Mark Lamont Hill he has a Puerto Rican wife, and he's calling her a black woman. But she speaks Spanish, and his kids speak Spanish, and his kid speaks more Spanish than English. But he's calling her a black woman. No, she's not a black woman. She's a Puerto Rican woman. So that TikTok dude saying, like, y'all diminishing people's heritages, yeah, you kind of are. Because you're calling them black, and they not black. It's Indian niggas that's the same color as me. They ain't a black American. So you niggas got to stop that. Another way I could touch on this topic is like all right, so you got other cultures that look like us, like black people, right? But you can tell they're not American by the way they cover black American culture. So you got Poetic Flacco, you got DJ Academics, I'll say even Danny from the stop, you can tell by their ideologies, they have like a love-hate relationship with black culture where they fuck with black culture because it's an entertaining ass culture. But they always take the perspective of kind of poking fun at a culture. And I always like get annoyed with it because you poke fun at a culture that you don't even gotta fucking believe in. You could go have your own fucking, I know niggas ain't about to pull up to my house. Oh, you can have your own fucking culture. Cause y'all got your own culture. Fucking Poetic Flacco's African. Go cover some Nigerian artists. Fucking DJ Academics, he's Jamaican. Go cover your fucking people. Like, I'm not gonna come at Danny too harsh, but he has that same ideology where they'll say, and I have always been a Drake fan. I never really been a Kendrick fan. I don't think he corny, but I fuck with Drake more. Yo, during the battle, you got these guys carrying it for Drake, and it's like, well, of course you can't see that Drake is losing because you're really not from the culture. When you really from the culture, you grow up a certain way. It's a vibe. Like being a black American, it's a cultural thing. We listen to a certain amount of music. We listen to certain types of music growing up. Old school R&B. Niggas growing up listening to Sade. You grew up listening to Special Ed. You grew up doing certain shit outside. These dudes can't relate to it. I bet you DJ Academics never slap boxed a nigga in his life. I seen him put boxing gloves on with a white bull, but we was 10, 11, 12 already slap boxing. None of DJ Academics, Danny, none of them niggas look athletic, so they ain't even grow up trying to be the best hooper in the neighborhood. It's just cultural shit that a lot of these people that cover our culture don't relate to, and then they try to tear the culture down. And that's so fucking annoying, because only in America, and like as a black American, you have to see this all the time. So let's say we go to another dimension, right? Hockey is hockey, right? So the majority of hockey players, all white, right? But then in this alternate dimension, the coaches are black. The general managers are black. The people that cover the game, not only did they never play the game, they're black. That's kind of fucking weird, right? You got the white athletes, but none of the white athletes are in position to own teams for the most part, coach teams for the most part, more so, like now it's more black coaches, but like, that's black America. Football is like almost 65% black. Basketball is like 90% black. But you get these, it's covered by white people. So you got white people judging people, and they're judging athletes on a culture and a sport that they never even played. They don't really understand the mechanics of or the psychology of why these players do this, or why these players react to that. And it's the same thing with hip hop. You got people that really didn't grow up in the culture musically, critiquing artists and what's hot and what's not, and they don't really know because it's not their fucking culture. You know what I mean? I'll probably touch on that a little bit more. Like I said, my watch is dying, so I'm about to get off this bike. But listen, hey, like I said, I'm on a bike talking to y'all. I wrote this on a fucking crock pot. Look at that. That was me. I did my own production. I ain't had no intro. But yeah, that was just me saying that, hey, you podcast motherfuckers take yourself too serious. All right, I'm going to holler at you. Like, subscribe, turn your notifications on.